One health check. 4 hours. Total peace of mind. Beacon Hospital's Health Check is Ireland's only advanced health screening programme with results delivered on the same day. This is modern medicine. This is Beacon Hospital. Book your Beacon Health Check today at beaconhospital.ie.
German dominance, true precision engineering, raw power. BMW has been one of the world-leading manufacturers since 1916, and here at Mondello Park, you can find out why. New to 2017, our BMW driving experience packages are the perfect opportunity to get behind the wheel of some of the best cars on the road in the form of the M2 Coupe or M4 Coupe. Simply pick your desired choice or drive both. Book today at mondellopark.ie.
Well, this time around on Irish Motorsport TV, it's the most famous race in Irish Motorsport. It's the Leinster Trophy, and this year, once again, the Boss Ireland class get the glory of racing for this trophy. Former winners include Mika Hakkinen, Mike Hawthorne, John Watson, Eddie Jordan, and of course the most famous of them all, Ayrton Senna, back in September 1982. This time round, it's the Motorsport Ireland Young Racing Driver of the Year, Cian Caarey, in the Chris Dittmann Racing Dallara on the front row. He's on pole. Alongside him, a former winner of this trophy, Paul Dagg. Then Gino Ussi, another UK F3 car. Stephen Daly on his F3 debut, a former double Leinster Trophy winner. Then it's Donald Griffin, Colm Hines, Fergus Faherty, Peter Dwyer, Michael Connolly, Sylvie Mullins. Some of the Formula Shanes up there too. Richard Carney, Eamon Matheson in the twin-turbo Hayabusa engine machine, David Parks, John Stewart, Derek Daly, Paul McLaughlin, Jordan Kelly, Martin Rafferty, Anthony Cross and Alex Wilsden. 5-second board is up and away they go. A good start from Cian Caarey, very much the favourite here. Stephen Daly though stalls the Dallara. First time out in an F3 car, razor sharp clutch and just died as he let the clutch out. Caarey leads, Dagg trying to get around the outside of Gino Ussi. Then it's Donald Griffin and Colm Hines. Then it looks like Fergus Faherty next up. But already out in his own is Cian Caarey down at turn 3. Dagg going to stay with him, and the Daly's giving, and Carl Harris giving Stephen Daly a push, and that's a long way behind the rest. Big ask for him now. Here's Cian Caarey for the first time, down into the long left-hander Bridgestone corner. Cold tyres in the car. You can see he's having to turn in 2 or 3 times, working very hard at the steering wheel, staying off the exit curbs though on the way out onto the international loop, now up this hill and into the right-hander Lola corner. All the rest of the Boss Ireland field streaming through, and some of the Shanes having a go as well. Gino Ussi off the cold tyres and off on the fastest part of the circuit, fastest corner on the circuit, and right through the gravel trap. If he can keep the momentum going, he should be okay. Just about, but a lot of work for him to do. The Formula Shane's gone by. There's David Parks, Formula Shane champion, just gone by. The last one looks like John Stewart, possibly Derek Daly, Jordan Kelly that was going by as well. But look at this, Paul Dagg having a real go on cold tyre, slightly older spec car. But he really will be trying hard. Has a look down the inside. Caarey has to cover it back to the outside. Dagg really on the attack in the early stages. Probably knows from qualifying he hasn't got the outright pace of Caarey, so needs to pull a move early. Moving around the inside and outside. Cian Caarey not looking rattled, again staying off those exit curves. He'll know exactly what he has to do here, and would have had good instructions from Chris Dittmann, the team boss there, a driver himself as well as a team owner. Here they come out of the final corner, south side corner. Absolutely together. Dagg right under the back wing and having a real go now. Caarey under pressure, stays to the inside. Dagg incredibly late on the brakes, gets the nose ahead round the outside, and Cian Caarey just hangs on, leaves him cars width, but manages to hang on through turn 2. So Caarey under more pressure than we thought. A replay now, and there's Dagg right down the outside in the car buyer's guide. Car almost makes it, but Caarey has it all under control and just gets on the power and holds his line for turn 2. Down to turn 3, these two still beginning to ease away. Caarey a little bit of curb there for the first time, probably has some heat in the tyres. Down again into the off-camber left-hander Bridgestone corner. Usually a left and right on the national track, but today we're on the international, so hard on the power and up this hill, up through the gears in the F3 car. And the next corner is where these F3 cars gain all the time on all the other cars in the grid. They've got incredible downforce, great mid-corner grip, especially through the quick stuff. Colm Hines fighting off one of the slower cars, and this is Gino Ussi trying to get by David Parks, and Parks just turning in there, the vertical racing car. Beautiful drift from David Parks, and you can see the grip the F3 car has mid-corner. Gino Ussi actually having a look across, perhaps wondering what that little car is. It's a Formula Shane, Gino. Here they come through the long left-hander. Dagg still right with him now on the international loop, but Caarey not looking rattled, not moving around too much, and no locked wheels just yet. Over the inside curb, right to the outside. He was on pole by about 0.7 of a second, and after qualifying reckoned there was a bit more to come, so he's probably quite comfortable here, whereas Dagg is really having a go, as you'd expect from Paul Dagg. He's been a champion in multiple formulas, former model car racing champion, Formula V champion, Formula Ford champion. He's won in loads of classes, Formula Opals as well at Mondello Park, so hugely experienced, also a driver coach now and runs a couple of cars as well. So Paul Dagg having a real go. He'd love another Leinster Trophy win, but Caarey not looking too worried about it. Checking the mirrors on the left as he heads down to turn 3, but nothing too defensive just yet. And these two still running quickly enough to ease away from the rest of the pack. I suppose Gino, Ussi and Stephen Daly would have been able to stay somewhere in touch, but they've both had respective issues, as we've seen. Here come the two leaders again down into Bridgestone. Caarey slightly quicker perhaps as they leave that corner right out to the outside, and neither of them using the curve on that occasion. Maybe F3 cars don't like curves. Here's Caarey again, fastest corner on the circuit. This is where Ussi went off, and again you can see the grip in that car right out to the edge of the track, and they are so fast through that bit of the circuit, the F3 cars. Great to see them over here, and hopefully this is the way the Leinster Trophy race will go in years to come. We'll get some more UK visitors back over. Great to have Chris Dittmann racing here, and indeed Gino Ussi as well, but Cian Caarey in the Sport Ireland car now beginning to ease away from Paul Dagg. Through the left and then the right, no mistakes as we'd expect from Caarey. Knows this circuit very, very well. He's the boss champion from last year. He's had many, many wins here. There's Dave Parks in the vertical racing car having great fun with some far more exclusive machinery around him. And that's an F3. That looks like Stephen Daly in front going down the inside. So Daly on a charge. He's caught some drivers. We'll keep an eye on his progress. Dagg again out over that exit curb, whereas Caarey stays off it. But Caarey now beginning to ease away as we would have expected. No problems for him down into the first corner. Mobile corner through there with no problems at all. And on the power again. And this is great stuff on board with Ussi. He's caught some of the Formula Renault cars, and it looks like Peter Dwyer, who's leading the Boss Championship in the Lola Nissan up front. He's got by one of those cars, the big F3000 chassis or size chassis now as they head up towards the final corner. Has a good go down the inside on the brakes, but Peter Dwyer just has that covered. And good stuff from Peter Dwyer. The Nissan engine in this car should be well strong enough to hold back the F3 car in the main straight. Indeed it is. But here's Stephen Daly right with them. And Stephen Daly just dispatching that Formula Renault down the outside. Ussi moves to the outside. That's Fergus Faherty, I think, in the... no, it's not. It's Sylvie Mullins in the Formula Renault, having borrowed it. He goes back down the inside. Great battles in this race. Ussi has another go, but Peter Dwyer has that covered again, and no problem with straight line speed in the Lola T95 Nissan. So great stuff from him, and look at Stephen Daly now queuing up behind him. The Formula 3 cars be much quicker mid-corner around the apex than the car in front, but certainly in a straight line. No problem for Peter Dwyer down into Bridgestone corner. Oh, big effort down the inside from Ussi, and I'm not sure what happened there, but Dwyer turned in, and Ussi just collected him on the rear quarter there, and that just spun him around. There's the replay down the inside, almost alongside. Hard to call, but the Premier Machine Tools car goes around. Doesn't look like there's damage to either of them. Hopefully they can continue. Strong cars, these F3 machines. None of this bothering Cian Caarey, of course, as he begins to eke out even more of a lead over Paul Dagg. So great stuff, heading possibly towards a Leinster Trophy win and adding his name to a very, very exclusive list. So here he comes now, backed by Sport Ireland. He's the Motorsport Ireland Young Driver of the Year. Will have got a financial prize from Motorsport Ireland and Sport Ireland. Also Declan Brennan and Team Ireland helping him with his training, his personal training and his fitness. There's Peter Dwyer. He is up and running, but going a little bit slowly, and Caarey just blasts by him on the run down towards 7A and B out on the international loop. Opened just around the turn of the millennium, just before it actually. But no problems for him at all. Looks like he's getting into a rhythm. Fastest lap now for Cian Caarey, heading back down towards his pole time. So doesn't look like he's going to be headed, barring a mechanical catastrophe. It's looking good for Cian Caarey to get his name on the famous Leinster Trophy. And again, nothing Dagg can do at this stage. Still pushing hard in second place, Dagg. Caarey getting right into the apex. Very important on that corner. Then the short straight and a really quick left-hander paddock corner in over the curb on the inside. Just a little bit, not as much as the saloon guys take. The F3 car is very stiff and don't like to be unsettled just as much. Nice late turn in for Southside Motor Factories, the final corner on the power again, and comes down to start another lap. So no problems for Caarey. Big support for him here this weekend. So Paul Dagg in second place, and nobody in view for either of these two guys. They're absolutely dominating this one. Cian Caarey going nicely now, no problems at all. Photographers getting good photos of him. They'll need them later for the papers in the morning if he wins this one. Somebody off on the outside, Derek Daly, just trying to hang on to the chains. Around goes the Renault, and hefty contact with the bank, and I think that'll be the end of his day's racing. Wheels still on the car, but front corner possibly dislodged, but yellow flags are waving. Again, here's Cian Caarey. He'll be just avoiding this. His timing is perfect. All the incidents just ending as he gets there. So he goes by. He goes through the right-hand corner again. Great shot of him just fighting the car as he goes through that long right-hander. and he'll be checking his mirrors and his gauges here on the back straight, making sure there are no problems at all. 124 miles an hour, just touching before the braking zone down into 7A. Great brakes as well on these F3 cars. They're really well sorted. The F3 Cup, a very popular series in the UK, and that's what Cian has chosen to race in this year. Another intriguing battle. There's David Parks, one of the front runners, in fact the newly crowned champion for Formula Shane's, and that's Eamon Matheson in the incredible turbocharged Hayabusa engine, self-built car, and not so good around the twiddly bits, that green machine, but very quick in a straight line, as David Parks just found out. But Parks goes back at him on the brakes, as you would expect, and that's an intriguing battle. Two very, very different motor cars. So there's Paul Dagg, still using the curbs and still pushing as you would expect, but nothing he can do now as Caarey begins to bang in fastest lap after fastest lap and ease away from all the rest, really showing his class this afternoon. Here's Parks again and holding off Matheson. Great stuff from David Parks. Look at the little bit of opposite lock, it drifts it right out onto the curb, stays to the right. He'd be expecting Matheson to come up to the outside, that's what he does. Parks stays to the inside to protect that line. Here's Cian Caarey just blasting by one of the, I think that's an Ego Boost Formula 4 car, possibly John Stewart. Big speed difference there as he comes down into Bridgestone corner again. Line of cement dust on the outside, somebody's put oil down, and the Mondello Park marshals have done a great job of sorting that out before the race started. Park still on the attack, sideways as ever in the Formula Shane as he tries to haul in Matheson's turbocharged twin motorbike engine machine, and the Shane quicker through the left and right, to the right and left there. Bahrain's bends. Matheson knows that and holds the inside line. Back on board with Cian Caarey again. Utter dominance at this stage of the race. You can see on the top left, fastest lap 135.88, and that's fastest lap of the race at the moment. He keeps banging in fastest laps, and he's just easing away from everybody. One of the Formula Shanes next on his list, moving out of the way. Not sure who that was. Very polite driver. A wave for Cian Caarey to go down the outside. Obviously somebody hoping for an Irish win in the Leinster Trophy, and it looks like they're going to get one because Cian Caarey looking very, very good. Parks has somehow got ahead again, but here comes Matheson just blasting by on the outside as they head down towards one. Matheson moves across to close the door. Parks has to go back down the outside. The Shane all over the place on the brakes, but nothing he can do. So right in under the back wing, and both of these guys, two good characters, they'll be enjoying this. On board with Gino Ussi now. Colm Hines next up, and down the inside of that big F3000 engine or chassis machine, the F3 will be a lot more nimble. That car will be a little bit more unwieldy. Again, plenty of straight line speed, but the F3 car has it in the corners, and Gino Ussi on a big charge back up through the grid now. 2 incidents for him so far. Look at Parks again having a go on the hill up there. Nothing he can do in a straight line, but again he'll be relishing the chance mid-corner to try and close that gap in. Cian Caarey not too far behind them now, heading up the hill. Kennedy's Rise to Lola corner, the right-hander. And again, that shot, look at his hands just moving around on the wheel. And great stuff, just grabs 5th gear on the exit, 108 miles an hour. And up to just about 125 miles an hour before the braking area for 7A and B, which is where he is now, through 7A, out the outside curve, inch perfect as we'd expect from Cian Caarey. Works very hard on his fitness and his professionalism all year, and had a great year last year. A lot of issues this year, huge pace, broke the Donington Park lap record on his first run out in this class, but has had terrible issues since then. Down the inside, that's Parks moving out of the way, another guy who knows that Cian Caarey is chasing the Leinster Trophy win, so well done to David Parks. Matheson is next on the list now through the left-hander. You can see how much quicker the F3 car is through those quick corners, and closing him right down on the brakes. Matheson leaving just enough room on the inside, and Cian Caarey gets up the inside on the way. A blue flag's being waved there, and David Parks next up, and then it's Dagg. So nothing stopping Cian Caarey at this rate. Blue flag just being shown to David Parks. He'll be well aware that that car is bearing down. Look at Stephen Daly on the brakes down the inside of Donald Griffin there. Back to the leader now, Cian Caarey, up to 125 again and on the brakes. He'll know the routine down through 7A and B, driving beautifully. Looks like the Leinster Trophy will be coming back to Ireland, all going well, and coming back to this man. Cian Caarey has not put a foot wrong, even when under huge pressure early on from Paul Dagg. He looked remarkably unruffled by that one, and then he just opened the taps and eased away. And we're on board again with him as he comes towards the end of this race, down to the 3rd gear for this one, 50 miles an hour almost at the apex. Great corner speeds from these F3 cars, as we said earlier. They really are very quick. There's Stephen Daly, speaking of quick F3 cars, Stephen Daly on his debut really having a go and taking a bite out of the inside curve at 7A. That's not how most people drive an F3 car. In the back of the car moving around. This is proper Stephen Daly stuff, hand in the air waving at somebody. Oh, safety car is out. The BMW Ireland M2 is out, and that's why that looks like Jordan Kelly, I think that is, and possibly spun and stalled there in the Formula Renault car. The lights are out though, so we're ready to go. We're fast forward into the end of this one. Some good stuff, and smoke there. It looks like somebody spun. Or is that Paul Dagg? It is Paul Dagg. So Dagg, probably at the restart there, he's either lost control of the car or had a mechanical problem, not sure which, but that leaves way out in front, coming down to take the green flag and start racing again, Cian Caarey, and rather than bunch the pack up, it's given Cian Caarey even bigger of an advantage. But Stephen Daly perhaps now can have a go at some of these cars, closing in on some of the Formula Shanes. David Parks, Eamon Matheson as well in this group, so this should be very, very interesting. 51-11 still battling away as they have done all through the race. But there's Stephen Daly, who has had an incredible charge. Here's Gino Ussi also having a go, waving at looks like Donald Griffin, not happy that Griffin wasn't on the power before this, but Griffin waving to let him by as they head down into turn 1, doesn't want any part of that. So Ussi just gets by Donald Griffin going down there and gets another place down into turn 1. So Cian Caarey now very much in the closing stages. We're on board now with Gino Ussi as he goes by another car on the way down to turn 3. Looks like that possibly the EcoBoost Formula Ford again, and David Parks once again on the attack here. He will be absolutely loving this one, right under the back wing, and getting flames spat at him by the turbocharged Hayabusa engine car of Eamon Matheson. But this is looking very, very good now in the closing stages for Cian Caarey. Here he comes, great shot as he comes up the hill for the last time. Down to the right and left now, Bahrain's Benz. Again, no mistakes, we wouldn't expect any at this stage. Stephen Daly still on this huge charge, all the way from the back, stalled off the line, remember, and he's caught plenty of cars. So can he possibly get by David Parks now? That's next on his list. Parks at the star of the Shanes in this one, locking a wheel slightly there as he tries to get closer to the Hayabusa. The Shanes are not slow cars in a straight line. Certainly they'd be wouldn't have the grip of these cars, the F3 cars. Here we go again, Cian Caarey now for Sport Ireland, for Motorsport Ireland, and for Declan Brennan's Team Ireland, and indeed for Chris Dittmann Racing, takes the checkered flag and puts his name on the famous Leinster Trophy. So Caarey takes the win in that one. Great stuff from him, and there'll be big celebrations in the camp this evening after that one. Here's this battle still going. They're down a lap with the third car, isn't it? Stephen Daly, and incredibly, he's second place. So good stuff from Stephen Daly. Remember, he was last away after stalling the car in the grid, somehow charged back to second place. Great stuff from him. Gino Ussi, another charge back to third place. Great stuff from him. So F3s are 1, 2 and 3 in the Leinster Trophy. Caarey takes it from Stephen Daly, Gino Ussi, Donald Griffin, Fergus Faherty, Sylvie Mullins and Colm Hines.
I'm feeling really good. I tell you, it was crazy. I had a great start, went second into the first corner, and then Paul came around the outside of me, so I dropped to third. I just overdid it, trying to catch the two of them. Went off on the grass, took forever to get back on, and I think I came on last. And then I did have an eventful race, as you say. I came through the field. Then the safety car came out. I thought, this is it. This gives me back in play, really back up to the front too. It's just great being here in Ireland. The hospitality and the way people are just wonderful, and this is a great track.
I'm so happy to get second place, get back up onto the podium. After the first lap, I was thinking I can't see anyone in front of me. This is going to be a tough challenge this afternoon. Should I pull into the pits or not? But no, I was very happy just to get up to where I was in the end. Disappointed that I couldn't come away with the win here. But I've got 2 Leinster trophies under my belt. I know what it feels like to win it. I've had great races and I've won it. I've won it in the wet and I've won it in the dry. And this is a win for me today. To come from so far back on the grid to close up in the leaders was an awesome achievement. And it's up there with the wins of the Leinster Trophy, so I'm not too disappointed.
It feels amazing to put my name on that trophy with so much famous names and local names as well from the Chocolate. That so many guys, Barry's won it, the Dalys have won it. It's absolutely amazing. It's incredible. Yeah, at the start there was so much oil down, and I see Paul was putting me under pressure, and I was like, I don't want to put this off with oil. I didn't know where the grip was, but I just got my head down and start concentrating corner by corner, and I looked in my mirrors and I was pulling it nearly half a second each lap. Then the safety car came out at the end, and I was like, oh please don't do this to me. I didn't realise Paul's engine went at the safety car restart, but I pulled so early that I actually thought I'd got away. I couldn't see anyone behind me, so I presume something happened, but I'm absolutely thrilled, unbelievable.